is Tina from Shabbydabbydoodah. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm super excited. We are here for another one of our mass making sessions. We are up to week number 151, would you believe? So yep, anyone who doesn't follow along with my channel, we are doing reruns. So this is week number 151. We are doing a rerun of week 51. So, you know, if you didn't catch it first time around, or maybe you're new to junk journals or anything, then, you know, this is the identical things that we made back then. So, yep, welcome along, everybody. You know, if you are rejoining for the second time around, I hope that, you know, I hope you're doing really great. So, this is now journal card bases we are going to be making. Now, I have to be honest and say, you know, it's a bit of a shame because I actually made these a couple of weeks ago in my Missing Your Mojo series. And of course, you know, if I had planned better, I would not have done that when we were going to be doing these so soon afterwards. But obviously I hadn't kind of quite realised that we were going to be doing these so soon after that video. But anyway, I hope that we're going to still be able to do something creative and something nice. Hopefully maybe do some other things, get a new kind of spin on it. And of course, you know, we're going to be using different papers and things like that. So they're going to look different anyway. And, you know, yeah, hopefully we're going to do some different things. I also thought to, again, add a bit of a twist on it, so that if you did catch that video a couple of weeks ago, it's not quite the same. We could do some large ones. So yeah, without kind of further talking about it, let's kind of see what you're going to need. So if you want to join along, what you're going to need is something to use as your bases. Now, in the last one, I used, you know, the 5x7 card blanks. I used those. Now, I have to say, I'm now just wondering whether I have got some actually beneath my desk. I felt like I didn't have many of those left, but actually I've just suddenly realised I think they're probably under my desk. Yeah, I just kind of mislaid them. So I'm going to use some of these, which are just 5x7 card blanks. You can see they've got the crease in the middle. And I buy these, you know, predominantly to use the envelopes. So of course then I'm left with this. But these make perfect size journal cards. I just cut along the crease and cut them in half, and then they're perfect size journal cards. And then as well as that, I've also brought along some coffee dyed paper. This is just regular A4 size copy paper. And I thought that we could also, you know, make some on these as well. So we'll see how we get on. So you're then going to need your scraps. I have brought along my scraps bin, which is kind of overflowing. So it's, you know, high time that I did some, you know, some scrap busting really. You're going to need some glue. I'm going to use my wet glue, obviously, for making the bases. I have got my hot glue for probably more the decorating side, you know, when we kind of come to the end and I decorate one up. I like to use just a card, you know, an old sort of credit card or, you know, store card, gift card, anything like that, to use as my glue spreader. And then you're going to need your scissors. Now, completely and utterly optional. You may want to have a corner rounder to round your corners. Not essential at all, completely, you know, up to you really. The papers that you're going to be using, you'll probably want to have a selection of, you know, different papers, maybe including something like some sheet music or some book page, you know, some plainer pages as well as your, you know, your patterned pieces. But again, that's, you know, no rules, no kind of hard and fast, oh, this is what you need. It's just kind of anything at all that you fancy. So please don't think that, you know, if you haven't got something I'm mentioning, that you're, you know, you're not going to be able to do it, because you definitely are. So let's get cracking and get making a couple. So I will talk you through, obviously, the first couple that I do, and then we'll just kind of relax into it and have a nice time. So I'm going to cut my 5x7 straight down that crease mark that I said about, and then I'm going to cut it in half, you know, just approximately, to make two smallish journal cards, or, you know, what I would call more regular size journal cards. And then with this side, I'm going to make a massive journal card. So in fact, I'm going to just leave the crease on there because I will probably trim this down after I've glued the paper on. So then all I want to do, let's do the small one first. So I'm just going to take some of my scraps. Now, this is basically the same formula that I used in that video. So if you saw that video recently, I talked about using a formula for creating your, oh, what am I trying to say? creating your journal cards. And I find using a formula really, really, really helpful. It just kind of seems to work perfectly. And this particular formula that I use, you know, I just find a bit of a fail-safe, you know, works every single time way to do it. So I'm just going to take my paper, my patterned paper, and just kind of marry it up really along here. So I'm just going to tear this down. So we've got a slightly smaller piece. And then obviously I just want another piece in here. Let's just see how that would look. I mean, it really doesn't matter too much because, to be honest, when you come to actually use this, you know, this is really going to be covered up. It's not going to be kind of showing too much anyway. So you're just literally putting your base. And you know, kind of when you do like a collage masterboard or anything, and it might look quite rubbish while you're doing it. And it's not until you actually come to use it that actually, you know, you'll find that it looks okay because you can't particularly see what was going on anyway, if that makes sense. So that's kind of, I feel the same way about these. So just stick that down like that. And then just going to put my next one on there. I might just tear this down slightly more. Okay. So again, just go around there. And then just, I like to glue kind of to the edges and then like to the more center parts of my piece of paper, if that makes sense. And then hopefully you've kind of hedged your bets and you've really glued down everywhere that's going to be, you know, stuck down. So then take your third piece of paper, and this is the formula that I'm talking about, is it's this kind of triple, you know, triple layer method that actually seems to just be perfect. And just, you know, every single time I just find I have brilliant results with this. So just literally glue that down like that. I want to have those roses on there a little bit. So just pull that down. Okay, and then we'll just glue that down there. And at this point, obviously you could go in on the edges if, you know, if you need to, just to make sure it's properly stuck down. Get my wipe. Okay, and then obviously you can trim around from the back like that. I mean, I've made mine pretty messy, to be honest, when sticking this down. You obviously do not need to make yours as messy as I have. You know, you could kind of be a little bit more rigid with your cutting and your sticking, but you know, that works for fine too. So, and then you can trim your card down like that. And like I say, if you kind of look at it and you think, oh, that looks rubbish, when you then come to use it and you stick your pieces on, you know, you probably will find you're no longer thinking it looks rubbish. It will kind of tie in and look, you know, look good. So I'm just going to see if we could do another one with this offcut, or I might be being like really stingy here. Just going to cut the border off, and then this might make it a little bit easier to sort of see where we're coming from. Okay, so this is my Curator's Collection background papers, these ones with the gold. So let's just bring in the small one again. This might be too small because I'm going to have quite a large piece over on the other side. Obviously I've got now offcuts from the springtime journal that I have been making. So let's just cut that down. Okay. Now I have to be truthful and say this is thicker, you know, thicker paper, so it's, yeah, probably not the best really, but anyway, it's fine. So like that, and then what other piece should we have? Should we have a kind of more neutrally piece? Maybe something like that at the bottom. Yeah, okay, so let's just glue this down. And yeah, I mean, like I say, really, it's just not worth getting, you know, too caught up in what you're using, because I think what you will find is, you know, come the end, it will actually look good anyway, you know, regardless of what the choice of papers were. There's still going to be something that you're going to be able to put on the top to make it, like, you know, look good. So this, it's got to be said, is pretty thick, and I would not choose to use thick paper like this really on one of these. I would ordinarily use copy paper thickness, only because I'm using a thick base. You know, my card blanks, they're pretty thick themselves. So by then incorporating, you know, very thick paper as well, you know, I'm just going to end up with really rigid cards. But, you know, that's fine. Hopefully it will be fine anyway. Okay. So put some glue here. Okay. Like that. And then again, just trim mine down at the back. I mean, this is a brilliant scraps buster. I mean, you know, you really can kind of get through your scraps pretty quickly doing this, I think. So, you know, if you have got scraps accumulating, you might find this quite a good one to be able to just, you know, whittle them down a little bit, you know, and in quite a quick way. I mean, isn't that gorgeous? Really love how that one looks, weirdly enough. I think I prefer that to the first one. And I have my doubts, you know, I kind of thought, oh, I'm not sure that's going to look very good. Let's do a big one now, because I did say we were going to do a big one. So I might use this just because I said about it being very thick. And so for me, if I'm going to use a thick piece, it's probably better on a bigger journal card, if that makes sense. So, okay, like that. And then on the other side of that, we could have this paper. Yeah, that's quite nice. And then at the top, what do we want on the top? Let's do something else. Let's do something crazy, shall we? Oh, that's nice, isn't it? Yeah, that's really nice. So, and I think that's the other thing. They're really fun to do because, you know, you really are putting kind of papers together that, you know, you wouldn't normally ordinarily put together. And it's kind of just quite addictive and fun, I think. I mean, I'm using all pattern papers here. I haven't used any book page or any sheet music or anything so far. I'm not saying I'm definitely going to stick doing that, but at the moment I'm doing that because I'm really trying to whittle my scraps box down. So, you know, if I start pulling in sheet music and book page and, you know, all of those kinds of things, then really I'm not whittling it down at all. I'm just keeping it as it is. So, yeah, I'm just trying to actually be really good and, you know, actually use mainly my scraps of my decorative papers. So, oops. So again, this is that thicker, you know, which, like I say, wouldn't necessarily choose to use the thicker paper for a project like this, but, you know, that's fine. Okay. Okie dokie. And then here, that green at the top. This green is in my Dickensian Christmas. I just absolutely love this colour green so much. Such a gorgeous colour. It's probably my favourite colour green, although now I said that, I feel like I said the other day in a video, oh, this is my favourite colour green. To be honest, green is my favourite colour, full stop. And so I find myself, yeah, struggling to pick which would be my favourite shade, but I do absolutely adore this colour. I don't know really what colour this would be described as. Yeah, I'm not sure what colour I would describe this as. Maybe jade, jade green, but it's a very vivid jade green. It's not kind of, you know, subtle at all. It's very bright. So I'm cutting into this slightly, just so that then hopefully I'll get the line of glue right to the edges. Okay, how gorgeous is that? So obviously that's going to make a massive journal card, but like I say, I mean, I actually quite like, you know, big journal cards and big chunky bits for my journal. So, you know, for me, this is going to be, you know, a good fun one to do. And perhaps we'll decorate up one of the big ones at the end of the video so that you can just kind of see, you know, how nice they're going to look. So, well, I say that, I mean, let's hope it's going to look nice. It might look rubbish. Then I'll be eating my words and wishing I hadn't said that. But yeah, hopefully it's going to look lovely. So that's all we're doing, is we're just doing this very simple collage using this 3 sheets formula. And yeah, just kind of getting some journal card blanks or bases just all ready so that you can use them in your projects. So I will be quiet now about the process because of course it's not really very complicated, so I'm sure that, you know, we've talked about the process enough, and yeah, let's just kind of relax now and have a nice time, have a catch up, and yeah, just enjoy an hour's crafting. So okay, I'm just going to do 2 big and 2 small out of these 2, I think. So I hope everybody is having a good start to their week. So anyone who watches my channel regularly, you'll know that I film these mass making videos. Generally, I film them on a Monday and they go up obviously on the Tuesday. So yeah, I'm obviously filming this on the Monday. So I hope that everybody's had a good weekend. I hope everyone's doing great. Hopefully the sun is shining wherever you are. Obviously I do realise that, you know, seasons are different around the world, so it may be, you know, doing something completely different where you are, but I know that lots of places seems to have you know, share the summer the same time as we do. But yeah, it's very, very hot here, I have to be honest. We came back from our holiday last week and I said I was so shocked when we, you know, when we got off the boat, that actually it was almost hotter here than it had been on holiday. I mean, that's like a bit of an exaggeration, but yeah, it's hot, you know, it was hot here. So I was quite surprised. Oh, that's not going to be big enough. That's a shame. Yeah, I was quite surprised. And yeah, the weather has kind of continued to be just as hot. So we are obviously having a bit of a sort of, you know, mini heat wave, which is lovely, you know. It's yeah, it's really been quite nice. I have to say there have been days, yeah, you know, it was only a matter of time before I would be complaining about the weather, obviously. But yeah, there have been several days where it's been, I would say, too hot for me anyway. But yeah, today felt pretty hot when I just went round on the school run, you know, to take my daughter to school. It was already getting there pretty hot. And it's forecast to be, I think they said like 31 here today. So, I mean, that's pretty hot for this country. And, you know, we're not geared up for it anywhere. I mean, people don't have air conditioning in their houses or anything. I mean, we have air conditioning in, you know, majority of cars these days. But yeah, we don't have it in houses or anything like that. You know, actually, you know, there's probably shops and restaurants and things that still don't have it. So we're not really geared up for the hot weather. But to be honest, we're not really geared up for anything in this country. We struggle when it comes to cold weather. We struggle when it comes to rain. We struggle when it comes to wind. We struggle when it comes to anything. So, yeah. But yeah, anyway. So the sun is shining. And I mean, you know, much as I'm complaining, saying, oh, it's a bit too hot. Oh, my goodness. I love how quick it is to get out of the house, you know, because you don't need a coat. You don't need to put like boots on. You know, you just have kind of, you know, sandals or flip-flops, or, you know, on the whole, they're kind of easy to get on and off shoes, aren't they? They're not like boots and things. And, you know, no coats or anything like that. I mean, I just love that. It's, oh, so nice. I mean, it just makes it so easy. Right, so I'm going to do all my sticking and then all of my cutting, you know, so that I'm doing a bit of an assembly line style. So I'm just going to pop that under my leg to squish those bits of paper down. Yeah, so, oh, what was I saying? I can't remember now even what I was saying. Anyway, yeah, love it, how it's so quick and easy to be able to get out the house. You know, it really makes such a difference, doesn't it? Whenever you come to do anything, if you can get out the house really quickly, it's awesome. So yeah, been pretty good, pretty nice from that point of view. What did we do at the weekend? At the weekend, so we just went to my mum and dad's house and just hung out there, because they've got a, you know, it is a paddling pool, but it's obviously one of those big ones, you know, that I mean, you can stand in, and it comes to, I don't know, waist maybe. I don't know whether it's quite to your waist, but you know, it's pretty high anyway. So we went to their house and, you know, went in the pool and things, so that was really nice. My sister was there with her little boy, who obviously is similar age to my daughter, so they obviously were splashing around in the pool and having a nice time. And then yesterday we went there again. My mum and dad and things weren't there because they had gone out, but yeah, I went there just with my daughter and my son. So it was just us, but just hanging out at my mum and dad's, just making full use of their pool, really. Obviously, they'd said to us, you know, oh, feel free to come and, you know, hang out in our pool. So we did, which was really nice, you know, because it was very hot. And so being able to just kind of go and chill out in a pool was good. Actually, I'm not sure that I like that one. I might have to choose a different one. Oh, let's go with some more blue, shall we? Yeah, that's nicer, I think. Yeah, so that was pretty much all we did at the weekend. I cannot believe it. The schools actually break up on Thursday. So my middle son, he's left school this year. He's just done his exams, so obviously he's waiting for his exam results to come back. I think they don't come back till, I think it's the end of August, 26th. I don't know. It's quite a way off yet. So yeah, he's obviously not going to school now. So I mean, he's currently still in bed asleep. Lucky him. So yeah, my oldest son, he's obviously at work today. And yeah, my daughter, she's just finishing out the week now until Thursday, when the schools break up. But oh, that just seems to have come round in no time suddenly. You know, I think what happens is you think, oh, we've got ages, and then suddenly, before you know it, it's upon you, and yeah, before you know it, they've suddenly broken up. So that's a bit how it seems to have gone this year. But anyway, so yeah, they break up on Thursday. So life as a youngster, it's just one big holiday, isn't it? Well, I mean, we all had our time, didn't we, of, you know, being at school and having that life. So, yeah. I don't know why, it always seems to shock me when it suddenly then is the holidays. And, you know, why is that? Because obviously I kind of know that it's coming up. But for some reason, I still always am like, what? They're on holiday? Already? Yeah, I think you're just never quite sort of prepared, are you? And then it's like, oh, it's here. They're on holiday now. So, yeah. Oh, actually, I might be able to choose that one. Oh, I love the look of this one. Don't you just love that? Love the way it's got all just the blues. Really, really lovely. And that's what I mean about these. You know, to be honest, I could make these like endlessly, because I just love combining all the different papers and the colours. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm so sorry. I have completely gone out of the window and forgotten to be telling you what papers I was using, so I do apologise for that. This one here is my butterfly blue paper, this piece, my relaunch of that kit. This one here is, I think this is Belgian blue. Hopefully I'm right in saying that. Honestly, it's really hard to keep track and remember all your kits and the names of them. But yeah, I think that's what this is. And then this one that I'm going to put at the bottom, this one here, this is, oh, I think from my Bird Rhapsody kit. So yeah. So I mean, they're all from different kits, but don't they just look so lovely together? You know, really, really, really complement each other well, don't they? So, yeah, very fun. Very fun to see the kind of different looks that you can come up with. So my daughter's got a play this afternoon. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure. Well, yeah, I guess it is a play. But I think it's the whole of like the upper school. So like they call that Key Stage 2. So it's the whole of that, you know, Key Stage 2 have been doing the play. And it's The Lion King. So yeah, she's just being a zebra. So she's quite excited to be doing that. So that's this afternoon at 2:30. So yeah, she's obviously very excited for us to go and see that. So yeah. I think they give kind of like the main parts, really. I think they give them to the, you know, like the last year. So the year 6s, I think they tend to get the main parts. So yeah, she's just a zebra. But anyway, she's looking forward to that. She thinks that's going to be very, very fun. And I'm sure it will be. Okay, just have a bit of this one. So this was more of that Belgian blue, and this one here is, I think this is from my Junk Journal Basics kit, actually. Okay. Oops, I forgot to even put glue onto this paper now. Oh. Yeah, so already my daughter's now saying, oh, can so-and-so come round in the holidays? Can so-and-so come round? And can we do this? And can we do that? So, yeah. So I think we're going to ask and see if her friend can come round on Monday. So, yeah. And the thing is with children, you know, they think that because they've asked you, that's it. It's a done deal. And trying to get across to them, well, you know, I've said yes, but obviously we need her mum to say yes as well. You know, it doesn't just mean she's coming now. So, yeah, I'll have to try and catch her mum at the, you know, at the play today. I mean, obviously I've got her mobile number, so, I mean, I can just text her to arrange that. But, yeah, you know what children are like. They just nag you, don't they, until you've arranged it. So, go on and on and on. Oh, how long until she's coming? How long until she's coming? And even on the day, oh, how long, you know, how many hours, how many minutes? But yeah, it's kind of like her best friend. So, you know, that's really nice, isn't it? I mean, I can remember having a best friend at school. And, I mean, sadly, we're not in contact now because it was at primary school. And she actually left and went to a different school in the end. So, you know, and then we actually moved areas anyway. So, I mean, ultimately, we would have lost contact anyway. But yeah, that's a shame, isn't it, when you kind of look back, because actually we were really great friends, and you know, I kind of spent all of my time with her, you know, all the time. This is more of that curator's collection. Yeah, all of my time. So you know, yeah, I hope you know, hope she's had a good life. Yeah, I might have to see if I can find her. Well, I mean, you know, I haven't probably seen her since, oh gosh, I don't know, maybe I was about 10 or something, I don't know. But yeah. You know, the internet's so fantastic, isn't it, for, you know, putting you back in touch with people that you'd lost touch with. But yeah, I mean, you know, maybe that's a bit of a strange one because that was such a long time ago, but you know, I just always think it's quite nice to, you know, to know that people are doing okay, hear what they've been up to. This is more of that Dickensian Christmas. Okay. Oh, it was so lovely last week. I, like, reconnected with an old school friend from my, you know, my high school years. We'd kept in contact for a really long time. Well, ever since school, you know, we'd kept in contact ever since school. And, yeah, we just kind of lost contact about 4 years ago. And then the week before I went on holiday, actually, I bumped into her daughter at the gym where I go. And you know, at first I wasn't sure whether it was her, because it had obviously been quite some time since I'd seen her daughter. You know, she was a child when I last saw her, and obviously now she, you know, she's, well, 19, I guess. So, yeah, she's like an adult now. So, of course, she is looking very grown up and different, you know, because, I mean, kids, they really, especially girls, they really change, don't they? And suddenly really, you know, yeah, just change their appearance and kind of look quite different. Anyway, I said to her, oh, hello, you know, is your mum such and such? And she said, oh, yeah. And I said, oh, I'm Tina. I don't know if you remember me. And she said, oh, I do, yeah. So I said, oh, say hi to your mum for me, you know. And she did. And her mum then got in contact with me, you know, text me. And, yeah, we met up on Friday. Oh, my goodness, we had such a lovely time. It was just so, so nice. And I felt really nervous about meeting her. And I know that sounds a really strange thing to say, but because obviously it had been a long time since I'd seen her, you know, 4 years, you know, when you just think, oh, I hope it's okay, you know, I hope everything flows. We don't kind of sit there not knowing what to say to one another. And, you know, you just kind of wonder how it will be, don't you? Because, I mean, obviously, you know, life kind of moves on. And, you know, so much has happened. I mean, our kids are all kind of grown up now, except for my daughter, obviously, who's still young. But, you know, her kids have grown up. My kids, you know, the boys, they've grown up and things. And I just thought, oh, I hope it's going to be okay. And anyway, met her. And as soon as we saw each other, we had a hug. And it was absolutely lovely. And do you know what? We talked for 4 hours. Yep, 4 hours non-stop. Just chat, 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 chat. It was like we'd never not seen each other. It was so, so, so lovely. And of course, you know, when I got home, I just messaged her and said how lovely it was to have seen her. And, you know, how I'm so pleased and thrilled that we'd like reconnected now, because, you know, I had missed her actually. And there'd been several times when I'd kind of, you know, sort of thought about reaching out, and, I don't know, lack of confidence and things, you don't, do you, in the end? And you kind of think, oh, you know, maybe I won't bother, because, you know, she's probably busy and what have you. And, yeah, we did, you know, meet up, and honestly, it was just so lovely. And, yeah, so I messaged her and said how lovely it was, and she messaged me back a really, really lovely message. You know, I think she felt equally as pleased as I did that we had kind of, you know, reconnected and met back up. So, oh, just lovely, 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 lovely. You know, when you just think, yay, you know, really pleased to kind of have got back in contact. And, yeah, hopefully we will stay in contact now. So, yeah, that was just really, really lovely. And as I say, that was on Friday. So, yeah, it's definitely my highlight of the day on Friday. So, there you go. I mean, it's amazing how quickly the time goes, isn't it? I mean, obviously it's been even more peculiar because, you know, when you think out of that 4 years, you know, a couple of years of that was COVID, which, you know, of course, how weird was COVID generally? I mean, you know, it just kind of, I don't know about you guys, but I feel like that was just some sort of like weird blip in my life that, you know, just went by. It was just time went by, but nothing much to say about that because, you know, we were all just indoors and, yeah, just weird. But, so, yeah, very strange kind of time. Just going to cut this straight in half now. So, obviously, this is thinner than that, you know, 5x7 card blank, but hopefully it will work just as well. Okay. Yeah, and I mean, where do the years go? You know, her daughter is, like I say, she's 19. She's the same age as my son. You know, and it's like, really? Our children are now 19. I mean, that's just shocking. You know, because you don't feel any different, do you? I mean, as you get older, you know, you just age. But, yeah, I mean, you don't actually feel any different. And, oops. You don't feel any different. And then suddenly you look at it and you're like, oh, my goodness. Where have those years gone? You know, my kids are now grown up and, oh, just like shocking. Absolutely shocking. Oh, and another thing, yeah, we went to see the Elvis movie. So yes, my two sons and I, we went to see it. Didn't take my daughter. It was, you know, the night that she visits her dad, so she didn't come, which she was pleased about because she actually doesn't really like going to the cinema. So yeah, it was just me and the boys, and oh, we had a really nice time. And yeah, it was actually a really good film, because I don't know about you guys, but I had seen the trailer and I had my doubts, because to me, the guy they chose did not really look anything like Elvis. I might be repeating myself, so I do apologise if I've already had this conversation. You know, I do apologise. But yeah, I felt like he did not really kind of look much like Elvis, which I thought, very disappointing. Why have they chosen somebody who does not look like him? You know, but that being said, I thought, well, let's give the film a chance. And particularly because I actually don't really know much about Elvis Presley. I mean, he died in 1977 and I was born in 75. So, you know, he kind of, yeah, had kind of, you know, pretty much passed by the time that I was, you know, old enough to actually know about music or anything else. You know, so I didn't really kind of know much about him or his life or anything. I mean, obviously, you hear kind of stories of, you know, he got really big and, you know, he died, you know, the kind of thing normally is, oh, he died eating a burger and things like this. And yeah, I didn't really know much about him. I mean, other than, of course, his amazing music, you know. But yeah, so anyway, it was a good film though, because like I say, I mean, I picked up things that I didn't know about him. Not that that was hard, because like I say, I didn't really know anything about him. The only thing that I would say is, aside from obviously the appearance of him, which, you know, I kind of felt like, well, they could have picked somebody who looked more like him. That being said, once you got into the film, you know, you actually kind of didn't really notice too much that he didn't, you know, or I felt like, you know, I didn't notice so much that he didn't look like him. I kind of overlooked that, you know, where it wasn't really bothering me. But yeah, aside from that, it had this weird thing going on. The film was very much connected with, you know, to do with his manager. Which again, because I don't really know much about the story, you know, or the history of Elvis, of course, I wasn't really familiar with the, you know, his manager and all of that kind of stuff. And, I mean, certainly it came across in the film. His manager was, you know, pretty kind of ruthless and, like, out for himself, really. And, you know, well, just, yeah, just kind of exploiting the situation and exploiting Elvis, you know, for his own ends, which I'm sure goes on all the time in those kinds of situations and, you know, environments, because you still hear about that a lot now, don't you, with people in the limelight and celebrities and, you know, that kind of lifestyle. It just seems to attract, you know, people who are maybe not having your best interests at heart. So, yeah, very sad. And, you know, the film, so it started off, I think his manager, he used to kind of manage like circus acts. And so what I found quite strange was the first section of the film, it had this weird, sinister kind of undertone to it, which I assume was deliberate to try and portray his manager as some kind of, you know, yeah, like a sort of charlatan type person. But it was weird. Very weird. And yeah, they kept on playing rap music like over the top of Elvis's songs, which I also found very, very strange and quite distracting. So yeah, I mean, even my son kind of said to me, oh, why do they keep on playing rap music? This is just like really weird. So that kind of was a bit strange. However, they did suddenly then stop doing that, and then it turned into a really enjoyable film. So it was weird for about the first, I don't know, 45 minutes or an hour. And then suddenly they seemed to stop doing all of that stuff. And it then became a really good film. So it was almost like it was filmed by two completely different people. You know, one of these people who was hell-bent on, you know, putting rap music in and things. And somebody else who was just focusing on telling Elvis's story. So, yeah, once they kind of left all the rap stuff you know, where it belonged, which was not in the film, you know, then actually the film then really improved and, you know, became really quite enjoyable film. So yeah, we did enjoy it, and yeah, I would recommend it really as a film. I think it was pretty good. What have we been watching on Netflix? There's something called, this again is the Bird Rhapsody paper, sorry. We started watching something called, I think it was called The Boys on Amazon Prime. Now it's an Amazon Originals. I hadn't really heard of it, but my son said, oh, you know, apparently everyone's talking about it. And yeah, apparently everyone's talking about it. And oops, just put my finger direct onto my hot glue gun, which was beside me. I must get my son to put me in a plug. Yeah, I only watched it for about half an hour. I didn't really know what to think of it. Anyway, then I was kind of like tired and, you know, just went to bed anyway. But it was a bit weird. Not quite as good as I'd hoped. It's about like superheroes in like modern day setting. Which I thought sounded pretty good. And I thought, oh, that's, you know, that sounds like a good plot kind of thing. It wasn't as good as I'd hoped in the, you know, the execution of it. So it was okay. It was a little bit on the weird side. I think I watched a film yesterday and I can't think what that was either. Oh gosh, what was it? Oh, watch that film Made in America, which I have watched that before with Tom Cruise. So yeah, watch that again. And yeah, I mean, that's a good film. Yeah, that's a really good film. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all that we've watched, to be honest. Oh, and I've had lots of people ask, actually, how am I enjoying my new craft room? I absolutely love it. So, yeah, thank you so much for remembering and, you know, thinking of me and for asking. I really love it. I have got more tweaking to do, and I have to say, it's unfortunately very messy since coming back from my holiday. Yeah, which I feel is shamed to admit, because obviously I'd, you know, taken a lot of things on holiday with us. I'd filmed like a ton of videos before we went. I'm trying to now catch up with filming since we've got back. And there's obviously subsequently been no time whatsoever for tidying up behind me or putting things away, which I was really, really making a conscious effort to do. You know, before kind of our lives went crazy and, you know, renting out our house and things. So, yeah, it kind of, it's not as tidy as I would like. And, yeah, I mean, hopefully I will get back on track and get it tidy again. Although I can't see when that's going to happen. But, yeah, aside from it being, you know, slightly messier than I would like, I really, really love it. I'm so happy with all the shelving and the kind of storage that I bought. Definitely, I'm really pleased with the, yeah, the storage solutions that I bought. I mean, I think I talked about it, obviously, in my move videos. I wanted lots of shelving because if things are put away, like in cupboards or in drawers, you know, if I can't see them, chances are not going to use them. And so for me, I wanted really to have as much open sort of shelves as I could possibly have. So for me, definitely that's panned out brilliant. And yeah, I'm really, really pleased that I went for lots of shelving. And, you know, there are cupboards obviously below the shelves, but I think for me, the shelves really, you know, were a really good choice. So yeah, definitely love the shelving, love the, you know, the storage that I've got here. Just need to kind of, yeah, really kind of work on keeping it tidy, because obviously it's not the biggest room. I can see how it would very quickly become, you know, like where I probably couldn't even get in the door practically. It would very quickly go to that. So I just need to be a bit careful, really, you know, to make sure that I don't kind of get it too messy where it becomes like unusable. because I think that is a bit of a danger in a small space. I mean, don't get me wrong, I think that's a danger in a big space too. It's just a danger with a craft area generally, but yeah, I can see how that could happen pretty easily in here. So I just need to kind of keep that in my mind and hopefully avoid that from happening. Okay, right. There we go. Okay, so this is our last base. We will now cut them down. And then we will decorate one up. And I said we would decorate up a large one, didn't I? So yeah, let's pull in the ones that I have done, that I have been sat on. So I've been squishing them down. Okay. Just trimming up. So this feels like, you know, it's been a really productive hour because I have used quite a bit of my scraps. Don't get me wrong, my scraps bin still looks pretty full. But, you know, it must have been really full at the beginning of this because, you know, I've actually used a lot and it's still that full. So I'm just going to put that out of the way because we've finished with that. So just cutting the journal cards all down. Okie dokie. Yeah, it's very, very hot. And actually, strangely enough, just noticed the sun has kind of gone in now. And it feels like hotter than ever. So maybe it's getting more muggy now. You know, less sunny, more muggy. Which, you know, that's not really ever a good thing, is it? Okay. Yeah, we bought the hot tub, didn't we, last year? If you follow my channel, and you know, you may remember we bought a hot tub last year. You know, kind of as a treat really for the kids because, you know, we'd had a rubbish year and, you know, I just thought, oh, let's have some fun in the garden. Well, of course, because the, you know, electricity bills and the gas bills and all of that kind of stuff has gone up so much, we obviously haven't dared have that up at all this year. So that is just away in the garage, which is such a shame because obviously, you know, we could have been having a really nice time out in the garden in the evenings in that. But yeah, I mean, I don't dare put it up because, you know, like on social media and things, I don't know whether people are scaremongering, but, you know, I've seen horror stories about how much people's electric has ended up costing due to their hot tubs. So, you know, why risk it, to be honest? And I'm sure that we're not alone. I'm sure probably loads of people are not using their hot tubs, you know, for the exact same reason. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really. Okay. There we go. I'll just cut down the last few. I must have only made 3 big ones. Felt like I made a few big ones, but maybe I didn't. Okay, whoops. So I hope everyone really liked the, you know, the holiday project. I do have another holiday project coming up. I'm still kind of filming this, the other one. So, yeah, it will be coming up. I mean, if I get a chance to, you know, to do some more on it today, I will. And, yeah. So just another little project that, you know, is just another kind of like complete easy project to do when on holiday. But yeah, thank you so much for everyone who's watched and commented on the other holiday project. I did actually manage to finish that journal yesterday morning. So yeah, I will be putting that in my, you know, offering it on my waiting list, sorry. On my wait list for journals on my Etsy. So yeah, I just obviously go down the list, and I do always say this, but you know, sometimes you don't actually hear back from people and things like that. So, you know, please don't be off or put off, because even if it's not technically your turn, it may be that I just never hear back from, you know, the person above you or whatever, in which case I just then move down the list after a few days. I haven't completed the other basic journal, the one that I'd actually started making on holiday. I've only done the one that I made with the springtime kit so far. So yeah, I still need to finish the other one off. So, you know, we might come and do some of that on film as well. Have I got another one here? Yeah, I thought that's strange because I thought I did make more than just that large one. Okay. And I'm so sorry again if you can hear traffic noise. Apologies. Honestly, it's so hot. I've just got no choice but to have the window open. So yeah, I hope it's not been too intrusive, but it's just so hot in here. I can't possibly have the window closed. I mean, even with the window open, it's pretty stifling. So definitely needed it open. Okay. Let's just cut that one down. I don't know how many I made in the last video. You know, in the week 50. Sorry, yeah, week 51. I must go back and have a look and see how I've compared, whether I've... I was going to say whether I've beaten it, but actually I think my crafting's possibly got slower, you know, rather than faster, which that's not great, is it? If you've actually got slower still. But yeah, anyway. Right, let's count up how many we did. So we've done 3 of the big ones this time, which I know in the last one I don't think I did any big ones whatsoever. And then we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, oops, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, we've done 13 altogether. One of them obviously being the large ones, or you know, 3 of them obviously being the large ones, which you know is not too bad, is it? Now I have brought along a variety of things. So this is my Country Cottages ephemera pieces, which I possibly thought we could use, or I've got this, which is from my Maribel kit, which there'll be more information about the Maribel kit coming up when I do that other holiday project, because I used this kit for that project. So yeah, if you're wanting to kind of see more, it will be showcased a bit more in that. So I'm thinking let's do one of these big ones, because we said we'd do a big one, didn't we? Decorate a big one. Okay, now just thinking, let's tear this piece out. Okie dokie. Like that. Obviously I need to cut this harp down. Oh, do you know what? I haven't got my glasses. They're always on my head. And today they are not. So, yep, I'm just going to have to go without pulling my glasses on. Hope for the best. I know I've said all this before, but oh, don't you just love the harp? What a beautiful, beautiful instrument. And beautiful sound. I love harp music. It's very, very tranquil, isn't it? And very restful, and yeah, just something quite serene about it. And you know, it matches up to its beautiful image, doesn't it? Its beautiful appearance. The sound is equally as lovely, you know, to the appearance of the harp as an instrument. Oh, I love how those 2 bits look. They look really pretty, don't they? Now, have I got my blendy tool here? I've got my corner rounder, so let's just take that. Okie dokie. Come on. Oops. Oh, I needed to use all my strength there. Right, okay. Then, so I think, yeah, I think I probably need to ink these bits up a little bit so they stand out just a bit. So I'm just using Vintage Photo, you know, as my ink here. I'm just going to ink around the heart a bit. Heart? Harp. Harp, not heart. Okay. Like that. Love those 2 bits. They're really pretty. I'm just going to cut this man out. I really don't think I want to use him, but just going to try. Because, you know, you don't want to kind of not try, do you? And then wish you had. I don't think he's going to fit on there because I think 3 bits of like main part ephemera on there, or main part toppers. That's a bit much, but we'll just give him a try just in case. Well, weirdly enough, I don't mind him actually. Might just be because it's a large journal card, it can kind of take it, but yeah, I don't actually mind him. Also got some of my ribbon. Let's just see. Oh, that's not quite right, is it? No, don't think that's quite right. And I've also got some of my ready done wax seals. Oh, would you believe, no blue ones. The 2 that I pulled in, you know, they were quite purple looking, weren't they? So yeah, I can't believe that. All those wax seals I've done, and none that are blue. Okay. Just ink around the edge. Right, I've also got my labels here, so let's see whether we can have a label. Oh, I don't know. That might be very bright blue. Very bright blue, but let's have a look and see. Just going to tone it down by inking it a little bit. Just try it like that, I think. Oh, I quite like that actually. I thought it was going to look kind of too much, you know, too many bits and pieces, but actually it's quite nice, isn't it? So just glue my label down. And these labels, these are just from my labels set 2. Oh, sorry, that's a noisy motorbike now going past. It's like they wait until you're doing a video and then they're like, oh, I'm just going to go past now and make lots of noise. Right, let's have a look at these. Yeah, okay. So I'm now thinking, going to put the harp down here. Now, let me just see what lace I've got laying around. Because you know me, I do love to have a bit of lace. Yeah, let's just have a look in my bag. Obviously I've got a bag now that I've taken to my mum's house. So, yeah. Oh, come on. Oh, I've got this little cluster here, which it's a bit too many things going on, aren't there? It's perhaps a little bit too much. Oh, where is all my lace? That's a very tiny bit, isn't it? It's not really going to cut enough there. Let's just try this. Just see. It might be okay. Maybe poking out from the harp. Oh yeah, prefer it that side. Right, so I'm going to try and keep that there. I think just glue this down with my hot glue. Okay. Like that. Oops, I wonder whether I can just poke that under a bit more. Like that. Oh, I think I've got that really wonky now, but I don't think it matters, you know, once he's on there, that's fine. So again, just pressing him down with the hot glue so he's a bit raised, like that. Okay. Looking good. Looking good, looking good. Right. Do we think that needs anything else? I mean, I do love having kind of extra bits on. So let me just see whether I've got anything else. Got some flowers. Let me just cut one of these down. It might not really have any place there, but we'll just see. Oops. Oh, that's quite pretty, isn't it? Actually, quite liked it there. So, yep. Like that. Okay. Okie dokie. Right. Do we want anything else at all on here? I mean, we're probably coming to the point where I'm just now overdoing it, but let's just check. Just got this scrap of lace. Oh, that's quite pretty. So yeah, let's just pop that down. I'm just going to put some dabs of hot glue, hopefully in the sort of more filled in parts there. Oops, come on. There we go. Oh, how pretty does that look? Now, let's just have a look and see if we want any bling, and then we will be done. Honestly, I don't know why, but for some reason, I keep not adding bling to things at the moment. And what is that about? Because I love bling. I don't know whether I'm just forgetting or I don't know. Maybe you just get out of the habit of it. Or, I don't know. But hey, don't want to be out of the habit of it. So yeah, let's pull some bling in. Okay. Oops. Oh my goodness. Fiddly or what? There we go. Right. How pretty does that look? So that's one of the larger ones. So yeah, lovely big journaling card. You know, really great because you've got a ton of journaling space on the back of that, and that's going to just look lovely, just clipped onto a page in a junk journal. So yeah, I really hope that you like them. I hope you have fun if you decide to mass make some of these, and you know, just really super handy little bit to have in your stash. You know, because it's going to make making your journal cards really, really quick and easy. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks then. Bye.